Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away in brand new week. Happy Monday. Today I'm going to be doing the next 4 stages of the Fanhome release of Build Robocop.
Drop it.
And as you can see, dressed for the occasion with my lovely shirt on again. You can't get this shirt anymore, unfortunately, but I do like these Robocop and retro 80s shirts. If you want to get this build for yourself, I will show you what we're up to at the moment. I have put a link in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen, but I'm going to jump straight into it today. So without further ado, we're going to be doing stages 15 to 18. So if you remember in the last pack, we basically finished this arm here, and we are also starting on the other foot looking like that. So today, as I said, we are starting with stage 15 here. Here's the magazine. Let's have a flick through, and as you can see, we are going to be fixing this foot section into place. So we're going to be putting the base on, so it's looking just like that. And again, this is the rest of the magazine just here. And here's stage 15. As you can probably tell from the noise that made, this is all metal. So we've got this section here as well. All I'm going to do is put the base of the foot into place, which is going to go on here just like that. And that's going to be held in with these CM screws. And there's 5 of these to go in. So just put one at the back there, and as you can see, this is where the other 4 are going. So as you can see, that's that one in place. And then finally, just into the toe section there, I've got this piece, which is going to go on the front like that. And again, CM screws, 2 of them to hold that in place. This is the last one going in here, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 16, again, here's the magazine. We're still adding some stuff here. As a matter of fact, look, check this out. We've got the inner left calf ankle joint, the support ankle washer spring. Big section this one is. We're going to be adding just this side panel just here for the joint for the ankle. And then once this is all together, I'm going to be attaching it to this large calf joint by the look of it here. This is the first foot we've done that from, so that threw me a little bit then. And there's the magazine. Now, as you expect, with this calf that we've got here, this is quite a big pack. And as you can see here, I have got a spring, so I want to keep that safe. They've got a habit of pinging off in all directions or rolling onto the carpet. Now, once again, this is one solid piece of metal. Check that out. Okay. Bringing the foot over, I'm going to be adding some sections just to this joint here. And that's basically this metal gear, which is going to go on this side just like that. Hopefully you can see that on the top camera. Then the spring, which is going to go on the top. And all of that is held together by this cover here. So the cover goes on this way, making sure that we compact the spring down. And it's held in with an RM screw. Now I've got that in this bag. This is a flange screw, and I'll get that in there nice and tight. It does sit in the indent in there, so this does sit at an angle, as you can see. It needs to be really tight. If you have that loose when you're turning this, you're going to have a floppy foot, so you want to make sure that that is tight, barely so that you can hardly move it. What I'm going to do then is just take this calf section and have this way round. And this is basically going to go over the holes just there. Now in the top hole, I'm going to be putting an FM screw. I've got some oil on this screw because I am going into metal, and you again want to make sure that's as tight as you can get it. That's why I'm using a PH1 screwdriver. But that's in place there. As you can see, we've got articulation here, and I've also got articulation here and here. Perfect. That is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 17, are we continuing on this calf section? It looks like we do have the lower rod clamp that we had in the first one, I believe. So once we put this into place, just like this, this is going onto the back like that there. I keep turning. This is the rest of the magazine. Excellent. Again, here's all the parts we get in that. Let's get this open. And the first thing I want to do is I want to take this shaft, which is metal, and I'm going to be inserting it into the end of this piece just here. This way round, because as you can see, this has got a larger section here, which stops that going in all the way, like that. Now on this end, I need a stop. So I've got, again, another metal piece looking like this. This is going to go into the end just like that there, and it's held in with an AM screw. Now this end piece does seem to me to be symmetrical, so I don't think it matters which way round you put it in. So let's get that in place as tight as I can get it, so there's no wobble in there. Excellent. Now on this ball joint you see here, probably best again on the top camera, I'm going to be taking this piece. This is going to go onto the end like that, and then over the top of it I've got its other side, which is going to keep that ball joint in place, and I'm holding that in with BP screws. Now every time we have ball joints, you will be tempted to just do it tight enough so that it can still move. You really don't want to do that. You want to put it as tight as you possibly can so it barely moves. Because believe me, when the leverage of the parts that go onto this are in place, if you haven't got it tight enough, it's just going to flop around. So as you can see, that's in place and it's really hard to move, but that's perfect. That's exactly how I want it. All that's left to do then, in this end here, I have got this piece for the top, which just goes into the end like that. And that is the rod clamp created. That's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this pack, stage 18, here's the magazine. Looking just like this. And as you can see, we are still working onto the left knee joint this time. So we're making a joint up just here. So we are working our way up the leg. So by the end of it, we have got a joint looking just like that. And here is the rest of the magazine. Excellent. So here are all the knee joints. Get them all out. Now the casings for that joint are plastic, but the actual joint itself is metal, just so you know. So the first thing I want is this black section here. And as you can see, I've got an indent for this nut. I'm just going to put the nut into place and seat it in there like that. I want to hold that into place, so I do have a bracket to put in, which looks just like this. And it's going to go in again on the top camera that way round like that. That's going to be held in with SP screws. Now these are really, really tiny screws. For that reason, I'm using my really tiny screwdriver. And just get that nice and tight. So now by having that in, it's going to stop that nut coming out. Now I want to bring over the other side here, which looks just like this. And I'm going to be putting the spring just over that central shaft there. And then I've got the gear, which is going to be going into this section again. Best on the top camera, I'm guessing. This section here. So it fits flush in there like that. Now the actual joint, which has got the other gear on the other side, is going to go on top of that, like this. Just get it all the way down. And then the first section that we were working on here is going to go on top. But before I do that, you see these two lugs? We are actually going to be screwing this in by putting this on top and putting screws into these lugs. Now these screws are BP screws. So one in the bottom and one just here. You want that tight enough so you see we've got no gap in the joint there. All that's left to do then, as you see, we've got the nut on this side. I've got this really long screw which is going to go in from this side here. And I'm going to make sure that engages the nut on the other side. Again, we do want to make sure that's in tight because we don't want this joint to be floppy. And this will be able to bend. But to be honest with you, at the moment, it's quite tight. but it does move. I am going to make that tighter, believe it or not, because I don't want that to be a really floppy joint. Again, when we've got the fulcrum parts on each side of this, it's going to be easy to bend. You don't want it easy to turn, like you saw there, straight away. Otherwise, again, you'll have a floppy leg. But that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go. That was quite a quick little pack, actually. So we've done this section here. We've also done the rod for the back of the foot. And we've also done the knee joint looking just like that. Excellent. If you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link to Fanhome at the video description there, and there's also a QR code on the screen. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.